Okay, now am I back? Start. Yes, I'm in. Let's see. So I get anybody back in here. All right, cool. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Let's get this started where I left off. Sorry about the technical difficulties. My name is Mike Thompson. I draw stuff and sculpt stuff for a living, if you don't know me. Last time I was in here, I was working on this Hulk. So because I'm late, I'm just going to jump right back into it. If I cut this off, I think I ended with his legs. And again, tell me if this is too loud. Of course, I see the stream has jumped to the bottom. Let me keep this on top. And just give me a shout if you have any questions, or say hello. Hello, everyone. Settings. I want to keep this on top. Scale. Settings. Okay. Maybe what I'll do is I'll move it over here. All right, cool. So let me know if this music is too loud, everyone. So if you missed it last time, my little meltdown when I started on time, it was, I've been working on a project this week where I've had to pull like 3 all-nighters in a row. And so I sound a little raspy, and that's what that's all about. But anyway, I don't need to hear the music. I'm going to take that in my ear because it's distracting. Let me know if it's too loud again. Hello, Mariana. I have my pen here. I have my glove. Okay, I don't have my glove. I don't need my glove. All right. So, yeah, last time I was here, I had this Hulk. Oh, no. All right. I guess I do need to have that in my ear. Sorry. Hold on a sec. Changes. You can't do that, you guys. Okay, there you go. Can't do that. All right. So yeah, last time I was here, I had this. I was working on the stitches. I think I got those all squared away, so that those are ready to go. And I had just kind of his bottom half figured out. So I know I'm going to want to kind of merge this all together and key it when I make sure that there are no, gaps anywhere. I think it's looking good. This is where I was last time. And I have my texture on the shirt. I think I want to turn that up a little bit, just because when I print, it's going to be, you want to pronounce it, right? So, oops, don't want to move that. I want to move this one. There you go. All right, so I think this is where I want it. Let's turn up the texture. And that's just on my surface noise. Edit. Let's frame this up. And turn up the intensity. Yeah, like that. Maybe the scale too. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. Alright, that's too much. So turn down the scale. Alright, that's better. Okay, cool. And his jeans right now don't have any texture on them. I wouldn't mind there being a texture, but I don't think I have my UVs left for this anymore. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't believe I do. Let's see. Texture map. Yeah, no, there's no UVs on this. Wow. Hello, guys. Not a lot of whole people talking in here. Let me know if you're in here. Give me Give me a shout, make some noise. Also, I can probably move this down so I can see how many people are in the room. Okay. All right. Yeah, so for the pants, let's see if I can just make some quick UVs. They don't have to be really great. Do I have... Yeah, I don't even have... Yeah, I don't have levels on this anymore either. All right, forget it. I think I decimated this down, and that was the reason why I lost all my stuff. So it's not that deep. Let's go back to my dude. Turn him on. I'm going to solo him out because all I need on him right now is the upper body. So let's get rid of these pants. These are the ones that have, let's do this. All right, I want him. I'm just gonna get rid of him. This is this super high poly too. This is the version I was using in Substance Designer. So I'm also going to want to decimate him down. But what I did in the interest of time was I brought him in as a merge subtool. So that means everything is together here. That's why it's so heavy. This is like crazy heavy. You would never want to print this, obviously. This is like 25 million polys on him. Let's get the rest of them. So again, all I need is that upper body. And I'm going to take a little bit of his torso just in case I need to tuck it in the pants. So let's do that as well. I'm just going to hide that. And then I'll delete the pants here. And the stitches. Yeah, everything is cut apart. I took this into Substance Painter, and that's why everything is all kind of separated into pieces. So, again, sorry for the low energy level. Like, I literally woke up this morning, and then I had an alarm on my phone that said I'm streaming today. So, it's not optimal. Usually a little more prepared. Wow, this is just a mess, man. All right, let me delete what I have hidden. And then maybe if I just hide his body. Like that. There you go, cool. All right, so now I can just go in and turn him off. That, let's hide him. And then I can delete this because I don't need this. Right? Delete, hidden. All right, this is the Calvin Klein Hulk here with the low pants. All right, so now I got just his upper body. So what I can do now is I want to decimate this guy and bring him down, and I want to close the hole on his waist, obviously. So what I'll do, oh, here's some stuff in the chat. Let's see. What is up, everybody? Interesting lighting because it's a tough topic. And 34 million active. Yeah, right. Typical poly count for good printing results. So, and what's up, Theory? Yeah, it kind of depends, right? So on this guy, if I turn off his poly paint, the music is loud for me. Is it loud for you guys? Let me turn this down. It's like crazy loud. I don't know. Let me know if the music is loud for you guys, because that's super annoying for me. All right. Yeah, so, you know, I have all this skin detail. The pores and everything are going on in here, so that's why he is as high as he is. obviously, if you know, if I step them down, I would probably work. Oh, I can't because I got rid of my subdivision levels. Yep, forgot I did that. All right. Yeah, if I work, I would have it much lower. And if you look at any of my earlier streams, you'll see that that is what I had going on. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to decimate him because he's like huge and stuff. Let's pre-process current. All right. So this is going to take a little while because it's 18 million polys. Let's see if there's any other questions. What music? Audio, no music? Oh, you can't hear any? Seriously? Is it only me that's hearing that loud music? Let me turn it back up. Because I don't want it to be boring. Let's see. Desktop audio. And... let me know when it sounds right. Because on mine I can hear it. Now, I know you guys can hear me. I'm talking about the music. So, let me know. It's good? Not too loud. I'm going to get this and then I will lock it in. Desktop audio. How's that? Is that good? I'm going to say that's good, unless anybody says anything different. And I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Wakanda forever. Alright. Cool. Alright, perfect music. Let me save this thing before it crashes. Don't. Oh, wait. It's still pre-processing. Okay. Don't crash, ZBrush. Yeah, I just got up, you guys. So I did manage to get myself together, and then that's it. What's happening with everybody? Everybody surviving the global pandemic here? You guys doing okay? You social distancing, I hope? Still going. All right, it's still going. This thing is big. Still shouldn't take this long. I know when OBS is running, my computer runs a little slower. Also, I got a baller new machine to put together. It's not a machine, but I got a new case. So I'm going to strip apart my old machine and put it into a new one probably later on today because I got to give my hand a rest. I started getting like numbness in my fingers because I've been painting for like 15 hours a day. So that's not good. So talk amongst yourselves. Let's have a conversation. This coffee talk. Nah, it's gonna get there. Decimation Master's like, dude, this guy is big. He's not even that big. So I have a friend named Odell who works on these models. They're like 60 million points. It's crazy. Like he's doing the whole Chris Costa route where he's putting these teeny tiny micro details and works in high res geometry or high, what is it called? High detail, whatever it is, HD geometry. But his models are so big, I don't know how he's doing it. I couldn't even imagine. Paradise for intro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, there you go. So let's bring this guy down. Now, what I do want to do is make sure that I keep my details. So let's zoom in. I think his hand is a good point to look at. I put all this in here. I don't want to lose it. So let's try. I'm gonna say 20% is a good point to start, which will probably bring it down maybe like 3 million. Let's try 15. Let's see what this looks like. Decimate current. What are you talking about? I just pre-processed it, dude. Did I delete the hidden? I did. Come on, I just pre-processed this. It's telling me I didn't. Let's do it again, because that's fun. All right, in the meantime, let's see what's going on. Yeah, it's all good over here. All good, no problems over here. So my sideshow thing got announced the other day. It's the first thing I'm working on with them is a print. I don't know if you guys are Wu-Tang fans or hip-hop fans in general, but I just lost my stylus. Oh, there it is. And I can't see without my glasses. Yeah, so I did a Wu-Tang Clan ODB painting, and that's what's on Sideshow right now. In case you're so inclined. And then I'm doing some other stuff with them I can't really talk about yet. All right, did it do it? Oh, it's still working. All right, let's talk, everybody. I'm gonna drink coffee while you chat stuff. LA Originals? No, I haven't seen that yet. I see it in my feed, it pops up in the front. What's up, Tony Gore? Tony Gore has been holding it down with me while I put in insane hours lately. So, good friend of mine. All right. It's still going. Man, oh man. All right. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. You guys say something. You guys talk. I'll answer. You have any questions about anything? I'm gonna get this coffee. And yes, I did cut my own hair and trim my own beard, so I'm kind of holding it down in the apocalypse here with the growing in the beard. Takes a while, but it's cool. You can go through that ugly beard look, and nobody has to see me except for you guys. All right, how are we doing? This is done. I think it's done. Yes. All right, now decimate. Let's see what it takes us down to. All right, cool. All right, so almost 3 million now, which is fine. It's much better than 19. I'm gonna close holes. It's my cat. Did it close a hole? Yep, perfect. All right, I'm gonna save this now. As where's the cutting key? Okay, so now if I turn on his pants, there you go. He tucks in nicely. It's good. All right, so I want to merge now what's visible here, and then I'll cut this apart, right? Because I want this to be solid. Don't pay attention to my cat. She's real needy this morning. And the reason I left this dip in here is because I want him to fit in. So now let's see what it looks like if I turn him into a Boolean. Oh, no, not, yeah, let's turn him into a Boolean, turn him on. All right, so now I'm seeing that he's cutting in way too deep, right? Like there's no way I'm gonna be able to fit all of that into the waistline. That's just not gonna happen. So I just want him to snug in just a little bit underneath of that pants line to hide the cut. So let's go back over to him. And I will, let's see, I want to cut him navel. Or below the navel, actually, let's see. Let's turn off like Boolean. Alright, so yeah, I want him to be, let's just mask it. Alright, so I want him to cut right around there. So if I solo him, you can see. That's where I want him to be. And then make sure that I'm not coming out. Alright, so I know I just don't want it to come above that. And the pants line is straight, like right around there. That's fine. So now if I make, if I switch the mask there like that, I can slice curve it, and it should only affect what is unmasked, theoretically. I know that's the way that the clip curve works. So let's see. Now this is going to be a problem. Let's see something. Let's not do this. It is kind of going out at an angle here, so I don't want that. I really would like to have it straight. Now let's see. Okay, that's still hidden. Okay. Alright. So now what I can do is I can do the slice curve. That affected him. Yeah, alright, so you see how there's a different poly group there? Or poly, yeah, poly group. So now if I select only his upper body, then that whole bottom and the cap should be separate, which it is. Oh, and also the inside of his mouth, I don't want that. Why do I even have an inside of his mouth? That's not supposed to be there. Alright, so now I can turn back on the pants. Let's just take one look. Now see, I'm glad I did, because you see how it's too much. Like, I don't have his waist, like under his belly button isn't going into the pants. It's too high, it's too much. So let's go back to this part. I just don't want any holes in this thing, right? I want it to fit in the pants. So that looks good. All right, so if I go back and look, there's the piece that I don't want. I'm just gonna save, and I'm gonna have a sip of coffee and look at the chat. What's my proudest work? My favorite piece? I don't know. They're like kids. I don't think you can pick one. I've done some stuff I'm not super happy with. Let's see, I'm looking for an online ZBrush course. Can you suggest one that certifies you? Yeah, I would start off with the stuff that's on the Pixelogic page. There's a lot of really good ZBrush Classroom stuff to look at. Then look at YouTube. And then if that isn't enough, look on Gumroad. There are people like Grassetti and I don't think Daniel Bell has one, but there's a bunch of sculptors out there who have tutorials that are really, really good. And then maybe I'll do one day. It's a must. Beardless, that's right, that's right. The router say to the doctor is a bad joke. Hurts one eye. Ha ha ha! Okay, I get that. Doing well, so inspiring. Thank you, Dr. Pixels Aruba. Thank you. All right, cool. Hurts when I pee, you guys. Not me personally. That's what the router said. All right, cool. So, all right. right, so let's delete hidden now. Right, I don't need that. And now I'll close the hole. It's gonna take a second. Okay, so now that's closed. And that's fine. So now the thing I just want to make sure is that this is nice and clean when this goes into the, because I'm going to use this as the Boolean to cut out of the pants. No, I don't want to do that. So what I think I'd like to do at this point is I want to smooth this edge here, and I'm going to do that by turning on my Sculptures Pro, and then just kind of hit this edge and smooth it. Now you see I'm losing my detail. Too many polygons. Seriously, for real? Sculptures mode disable. This thing's got a lot of, it's got a lot of little hang-ups with it. All right, so this now is 2.7. I don't know if I can get it any smaller, but let's see if I can. First, I'm going to save it. Then I will duplicate just in case so I can look back and see what the other one looks like. Let's turn this on in the song, and that's on solo. Now let's pre-process again. Okay, so this shouldn't take as long because now it's not 19 million polys, it's 3. Have some more coffee. Hey, thanks, man. The skin details, I don't know if I did that in a stream or not. I don't think I did. But all I did was I used some of the skin from God, I can't think of it. What's that place online that sells scans of people? Anybody? You know the thing. They had like the Thanos pack. Yeah, Texture XYZ. Thank you. Yeah, so I had the Texture XYZ in addition to it's so much easier to think without the music piping right into my head. In addition to using my own kind of skin alphas to go in between where those textures weren't. Alright, so yeah, thanks guys, Texture XYZ. Alright, so that's done. So now let's try to decimate current. Alright, and it is, I'm going to say 20 this time because I have a feeling I'm going to start to lose detail. 20, no, come on, 20. 20%. Alright, so now let's see what it looks like. And yeah, so you see it got a little less detailed if I switch to the other one. I mean, it's kind of hard to see it. Let's see something. Let's just do the hand here. So this is what it looked like before. No. Yeah, that's what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. This is what it looks like now. Alright. So if I hide everything with this, you see the difference? Like I lost too much detail. I don't like that. So let's undo what I did. Step back. Before I decimated it. Okay. And then let's go maybe 50%. Plug in, let's say 50%. And decimate. See what this does. Okay. This is, like I can live with this. This is cool. It's fine. And again, I'm going to be printing it on a filament printer, so I would be very surprised if it keeps too much of this detail. I did put the Zion and it kept some, you know, it kept some okay detail, but it probably wouldn't have hurt if I cut these in even deeper than I have them now, the skin tones and stuff. Right, but I digress. Alright, so that's about 4.5 million. I'm going to turn on Sculpt Pro, and let's see if now I can go in and just kind of soften up this image a little bit. I just don't want it to delete away too much. And I also don't want it to be seen outside of the pants. So let's do this. Turn off this guy. I'll leave this guy. This is the big one. It's the big one, Elizabeth. Nobody understands that because I'm older than everyone in here. Delete this one. Yes. Okay, and turn on this stuff, and then turn off solo. Alright. So, if this is now a Boolean, and I make it a negative, that's still going way deep into those pants. It's like it's way deeper than I wanted it to go. Why is that? That didn't look that deep before. Alright, let's turn off Boolean. Seriously? Yeah, that's gone too much. All right, so let's try that. You know what I can try here? Let's try something. I am going to do a little clip curve, but now I have to hide the arms. I don't want to cut his arms. Let's do this. I only want to affect this part here. Okay. That's all I care about right now. So let's try to do the clip curve. See if it lets me do it while it's hidden. I don't know if it will. It did. Sweet. Alright. Now you see you get this little bit of a lip around here. That's because the size of it changes. Clip curve, what it'll do is it pushes all your geo in. So ideally I wouldn't want to do a clip curve. I probably want to do, I could either do a slice curve. Let's see something. Let's do a slice curve. Be clean. Actually, slice curve is what I did before. Do this. I'm just going to try to flatten some of this part here. Let's see what that looks like. I just want to flatten this out. Now, of course, when it gets around to his butt, it's going to be a problem. We'll cut that big butt, y'all. That's on the pants. Yes, good. Okay. cat is tripping. I don't know what is going on right now. She's not happy about something. Okay, so all this is going to be hidden. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I just want to shorten the amount of material that's going inside of the pants. So before I do that, I want to make sure that the shape of it is kind of just straight up and down, basically. Right now there's too many curves. Hope it's very curvy. Alright, that's not bad. So then next time when I do the, what's the deal? Let's see. Hey Mike, 3D printer using at home. I have the Ender 5. It's over there in the corner. Insert mesh brush geometry does join meshes like Dynamesh. Insert mesh brush in geometry menu. Does it join the mesh like Dynamesh? I'm gonna think about that after I have some more coffee. I gotta think about that. Game industry? No, I am not. I'm actually an illustrator. I do stuff for like movies and games and things like that. Not so much games lately. I used to do video game covers for like box art. All right, so let's take that up a little bit. And I think that's it, right? Oh no, that's a very big. Okay, let's do this. Take that off. Alright, turn off Boolean. Now let's see, hopefully I don't see any of those things that I chipped away. Good, alright, so that's not bad. And so now what I can do is I can clip him so he's not quite so deep in there anymore. And then I shouldn't get the lip, which I do not. Okay. Now if I turn on my Boolean. Oh, it's only doing that because I have geo hidden. So let's go back and add some more to it. Okay, so now let's turn this on. What's happening in the front there? Oh, that's the. All right, so I want it now to come up a little bit in the back. So let's do this. Make that as straight as possible. Okay. Let's try to clip it again. This way. Okay. And again, this is all going to be hidden. It doesn't really matter, but I do want it to just kind of just go inside of his the top of his pants here, which that's okay. All right, that's okay. It's not bad. All right, so that's that. So now if I grab this insert here, let's solo this for a second. Let's see, where is the piece? All right, that's the bottom of his legs. So let's grab the bottom of his waist. This. This is all inside the pants. Nobody's going to see any of this right here, so it's okay. So So now I'm going to pull this up with everything turned on, right? So now, you see how I have these little areas that aren't quite square? That's just because the bottom of his upper body is not exactly square. So I'm gonna pull this up a little bit, like that. Okay. And you can see that it is, it's cutting into around there, right? So that's okay. I like where the front is. I don't like where the side is. I think that side needs to be actually cut up too. It's too deep on the side. So let's go in and mess with that. This is like a real kind of experimental thing. So it's not something that necessarily is going to be a perfect thing the first time out. Now let's see what it looks like. Maybe that's better. Still a little high in back. Alright, so come over here. And clip this. Alright, that's about where I want it. The other side actually needs to come up a little bit too. Just a little bit. So I think that's cool. Let's turn off Boolean, make sure I didn't clip it out of his pants here. Okay, and I can cheat that if I did. Looks like it might be a little high in the front, but I can just pull up the pants and hide that. So I'm not super mad at that part. Let's I just want everything to be flush. Okay, so if I turn the Boolean back on, it all kind of cuts in. This side looks like it needs to come down a little bit. And you can see it does like a live preview where if I'm actually pulling on his upper body. Let's turn off the shirt so we can see what the heck is going on. Alright. So if I turn off the Boolean, you can see he's here. But I'm pulling on him, and it's updating by cutting into his lower body. Right, so that's good. Alright, I think that'll work. Okay, and then that shirt's gonna hide the rest of it. So I'm cool with that. Right? Now I can turn him back on. Okay, so that is okay. So now I want to make a key for this, right? So the way I normally do that is I just duplicate one of my subtools and get rid of the subdivision levels and then just turn it into a Q-cube. Without texture, clearly. Surface, turn off the noise. Okay. More transparent, turn off that. Alright, so put it down at his feet. I'm gonna grab this, pull it up. And now I want this to be a fairly large key, but not too big. His hands are making it hard to see anything. Let me do something. Alright, save it. See what else is going on. can you please small demo of insert mesh in geometry menu? Yeah. All right, so let's say this cube was something that I wanted to insert a mesh into. Tools. Insert. Alright, so like, let's just say I wanted to add, I don't know, let's say I want to add like a chain into this thing. This is just an IMM chain thing. Now, because there's no subdivision levels on this, I can just drag, and it does that. So if I wanted to, let's say, use just a insert cube or something, like a primitive or a machine part, let's grab that. And then if I want to grab this gear-looking nut thing here, I can just go and drag it out, right? Just drag it wherever I want it. That's all it is. So now the thing of it is, you can group them by the by what's masked, or you can just auto group so that everything is its own thing, right? So now if I go into poly groups, they're their own thing. And then if I wanted to say grab this guy here and make him a Boolean and kind of dig it into this mesh here. I'm gonna get back to the Hulk in a second. I just want to explain this real quick. I can split this from split unmasked, right? And then turn off everything except for these two, and then I make this a negative Boolean, like that. And if I turn off solo and turn off transparent, you see how now it's in the mesh, right? And if I move it, it changes. So it's there, it's just Booleaning into the mesh, and it can be, you know, wherever I want it to be. So that's how you make these things. It's not hard at all. All right, back to Hulk. What's that? Any other questions? Sculpt the legs. Is it okay to sculpt the legs and body different subtools? We need them attached. Want to animate it. Wait, is it okay to sculpt the legs? Yeah, if you want to animate it, you want it as one thing. You're going to put a rig into and then animate. So that you want that as one thing. I thought this was about advanced lighting. What says advanced lighting? What you talking about, Willis? Is that what they put on my Pixelogic thing? Let's see. Let's take a look, shall we? Did they call this advanced lighting? Downloads. No. Where are you saying advanced lighting, brother? I don't know what you're talking about, Steven. Oh, that's from the last stream. Okay, cool. All right. So let's delete this guy. Delete this one. I only want the cube. Wait, I want to keep this. I want to just delete everything else. There you go. Delete hidden. All right, go back to my brush here. This is going to be a key. And I'm going to make my life easier here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to square him up a little bit, because right now he's at this angle that I had originally, and it's a weird angle. So rather than keeping that, where's his upper body? Hidden? No, it's this. Turn this on. Turn off this. Let's straighten everything out. just decimates my place here. All right, let's put this in the middle. Turn on all the layers. Let's center this guy. Make sure nothing is masked. I don't think it is. Yep, pants are masked. You can see the pants are masked. What are you doing? The legs. All right. Center. Rotate. It's going to be way easier this way. Let's put him there. Much easier. You see my little custom boot over there? My little custom 3D gizmo boot? Not 3D gizmo, but the turnaround thing. I made that. Okay. That's better. All right, cool. So now what I can do is I can go and grab this cube. If I make this transparent, the cube, I can go and let's turn off all the subtools. Let's just make a new cube, and it will be straight. There you go, W. Rather than trying to line that back up again. Put that here. Scale it up. Push it down. So one thing that will probably make this a little easier, actually this has, let's go in and mess with the geometry. I'm gonna go to my Z modeler and get rid of these extra loops here. I don't need these. Okay. Now what I can do is I can grab the bottom and scale it down. So it's a little more like this. You know what I'm saying? And then, oops. That, and then I can make the whole thing a little wider. Okay, so now that should key in a little easier. And then let's see where it is on his body. Let's turn off everything but his upper body. Go down to here. Turn that off. It doesn't have to be too big, but he's going to be chunky, so I'm going to make it pretty big. I also see that I have a little bit more of that lip on his lower body that I don't want. This area right here. I'll clean that up later. But if I turn off transparent now, and I turn off poly group, that's kind of what this key is going to look like. And there's not subdivision levels on either one of these guys, so if I group this as one thing, right now each of the faces is its own group, or its own polygroup. I just want one group, and then merge him down, merge down. Okay, so now this is kind of what this would look like, and if I make him a negative Boolean, like right now if I turn on everything and turn off solo and turn off polygroup, he looks like this. But if I turn on the negative Boolean, this is what that's going to look like. Somebody's blowing up my phone. Let me get this out of my pocket. It's starting to get crazy. What's happening? Sorry, I have a client that's going to be hitting me up a little later. I just want to make sure I don't miss the call. All right. Put that there. So that's deep, right? I don't want that key to be that deep. So let's go in and fix that. If I just mask everything but the key, I can push it up like that, and then turn it on, and you can see that because it's dynamic, I can now move it, and you can see what it's going to look like. It doesn't have to be super deep, but I do want it. I know that the front is a little higher than the back, so I do want it to key in enough that I can glue that and it's going to stay. So that looks fine. Alright, is the music still playing? It is. Cool. Alright, See if there's any other questions. Actually, let me save. I haven't saved in I don't know when. Q. Save. Okay. Let's see what else is happening. Did you know that? Did you know that? Oh yeah. Good morning, more RAM. You can never have enough. I just bought some more. Field of mastery, is it character design? I would say I'm an illustrator who likes to sculpt people also. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. That's what I get paid for. Have you seen the new large-scale resin printers? I have not seen them. The Incredible Hulk. I haven't seen the printers that are large format. I don't need it to be too big. I mean, if I key these things together, like here's my printer. Don't say anything about my messy place here. Don't judge me, you guys. This is the apocalypse for real. There's my printer over there. Can you see that? Let's see, where's the OBS. Yeah, there's a printer over there in the corner behind Optimus. So that's big enough to do what I needed to do. Right? I don't need much more than that. Do I make toys? I do not, but I just kind of got linked up with Sideshow, so I'm going to be making some statues, so like adult toys. That does not sound right at all. Not that. Not adult toys. Expensive toys, let's put it that way. Are you going to hollow this out? Good morning from Italy. What's up, Italy? What kind of printer is that? That is an yeah, that was a unfortunate that was an unfortunate thing. I didn't mean to say that. That is the Creality Ender 5, yes. Boom. That's what that is. Okay. I'm in the adult toy industry. Thank you. Okay. So that's kind of what that key is going to look like. And I know that I want this shirt to come in more too, right? Because like right now, it's making a weird kind of inside edge. So let's fix that. I think that if I grab it, let's turn off the texture. And solo it out for a second here. Do I have subdivision levels on this? Sweet, I do. I do. That's the best. All right, so I only want to affect the inside. And I think if I grab my gizmo, I might be able to get away with scaling this down like that. Look at that. And then scaling it up like that. Is it doing it? Yeah. Okay. Like that. I just want to make that hide into the body, right? So if I now go and go back to my subtool, and I just want to see what that looks like with the upper body knocked out of it. Let's step it back up again and turn off that part, and let's hide the mask. Mask, hide. Okay. So, all right. So then that's what's cutting into the pants, and then, or the upper body rather. So let's turn back on the pants. I know it looks confusing now. It's one of those things. It's kind of like it's like a puzzle. All right. So that's what it looks like when everything is turned on, which is better, right? That's better. what I can do is raise it up over the pants in the areas that need to be. So let's grab that and just pull them. Oh, so I think just the inside selected. Let's turn it off. Obviously the shirt would be over the pants, right? So it doesn't make sense if the pants are showing through the top of the shirt. Not that anybody would probably see this, but I know it's there, so it's bugging me. It's bugging me, you guys. All right, let's turn this around. And then there's areas where it probably is a little too high, so we can take these down some. Want to make sure that okay, so now see this area where it dips in really low? That's because his torso is a little low in that area. So what I can do is go down to that part of him and just kind of cinch it back up a little bit, right? So let's grab. I want to move him, I don't want to move the key, and I'll turn off solo, grab my move tool, make it nice and big, and pull up. Yeah, pull him up a little bit. What is so high over here? That's the shirt? Maybe it's better to pull the shirt down. Pull the shirt down. Alright. We're figuring it out as we go, you guys. There are guys who are way better at this than I am, but you know what? I'm not here for them. I'm here for the people who are just trying to figure it out like me. Alright, there it is. It's cool. Okay, so it's just enough of a divot that when his upper body fits in there, you don't see that gross seam going all the way around that I'm going to have to fill with filler and then sand down and all that. It's going to be hidden. I want to have as many opportunities to hide seams as possible, and on the Hulk there's not a lot, to be honest with you. The arms, there's going to be cut lines on his arms, there's going to be cut lines. There's going to be cut lines everywhere on this thing, to be honest with you. This is the only one I can hide. So now that that's looking pretty good, I like it. What I can do is I can go ahead and make the Boolean. Right? Let's see. The unified mesh, rather. So that's okay. Just make sure something. You know what? Let's do. You know what I can do? I got a better idea. Let's do something else. Solo. I'm gonna cut him in a little bit. Let's do this. I'm going to make a curve strap around him. No, I won't do it that way. I'm thinking out loud. Bear with me for a second. Let's duplicate this. I want a cylinder. Cylinder. Okay. Because I want him to, I want that part that dips into his pants to be super clean. and right now it isn't, and it's bothering me. Right? The cleaner it is, the better it's going to fit. So I just want to make something that is going to knock through the edge of his lower body and be super clean there. So let's do this. Let's turn off everything except for him and this. Right? Oh, turn off the Boolean W. Now, right now with this, all I'm concerned with doing is I don't care about the top and the bottom, I just care about this part right here, right? So I'm going to delete hidden. Okay, I will maybe add a couple of subdivision levels to it, turn on dynamic. Okay, like that, and apply. Okay. Now I want to fit this around him like a belt. Since I finished the saving, let me save it. Save this. Save, yes. Okay, let's see what's going on. Hello from Japan. Show the whole model for a second. All right. That's the whole model. Okay. Do you finish the shell? Yeah, so because this is a filament printer and not a resin printer, I'm not concerned with him being hollow. I'm making him a shell. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a shell. It's just going to fill with like a cross pattern to fill the empty space. But yeah, don't worry about that. Thanks, the Gruber. The Gruber! No. This is not going to be a. This is not going to be a toy. This is going to be just a statue. Is that a belt? No, not yet. I will show you what it is. It's just going to clean up that bottom edge for me when it tucks in the pants. 100 messages, yeah. Beefy. Yes, he is beefy. Beefy dude. All right. Let's just go back to this thing. Okay, and I want to position it on, it's easier if I can see it. So I don't need these. It's going to be easier if I get rid of the higher first. Let's get rid of this. Now I want to just grab and position it around him. Crease it on the top. Let's do one level of division, and then I still want to get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. Okay, I want it to look like a belt. I just want to make it fit on him as best as possible. thickness. And I haven't done this before. This is me just thinking out loud, basically. But I'm going to give this a little thickness now. I have creases, but I don't want creases. Let's give this one. Crease. Don't want a crease there. I don't have any more. Yeah, I got one here. I don't want that there. I do want one here. Absolute complete. Top and the bottom. Turn on dynamic. It looks better. Here. Don't want a crease there. Alright, cool. That's good. Alright, let's give this some thickness now. Alright. So I'm just going to extrude poly grooves all. Let's give this some thickness. Alright, like that. Okay. And then outside doesn't matter, inside is what matters. Okay, so now I just want to see what this looks like. It's a negative, and turn Boolean back on, and turn on this, turn off this. Right, so what I'm going to do, I don't know what happened to him up here. He's got like a scar here now, it's weird. That was not intended, but it kind of looks badass, so I'm going to leave it. And then turn up the subdivision levels on that. The higher it is, the smoother it's going to be, right? So it would look kind of like that. Okay, so then that would go in the pants. But now the thing is, it's going above the pants, right? So if I turn on the pants now, it's like way high, like super high. So what I can do is I can slide that down. I'm only concerned now, let's turn off the dynamic for a second. I'm only concerned with the top coming down, so I want to mask the bottom. So an easy way to do that is to show only the bottom and the top and auto group, and then just mask the thing that I want masked, which is the bottom. Okay, so now if I were to move this, it's only going to move the top, it's not going to move the bottom, right? So let's turn this back on, turn this off, and let's bring this down. I want it inside of the pants. Okay, and I know I'm going to have to hand adjust this, but I just want to get it so that it's just hidden inside of his pant line. Which of course I took him up so high that you can't even really see it now. It's crazy. But let's take it back up a little bit. And I'll move these point by point to kind of get this where I want it. Just want this teeny tiny bit. This is why it's good to work in low, keep your low subdivisions, because now I can go through and if we were looking at this thing, you know, it'd probably be a little, well, no, it can't be any lower than this because it's got to go around his body, but I can just move just a point at a time to get this exactly where I want it, right? And basically all I'm looking to do is just make a clean edge that cuts into those pants and then makes a clean opening, and then he slides right in. You know what I'm talking about. Looks like. I have a feeling that's still outside of the pants, probably. And also, let's move the pants down because what's happening is it is being heavier. Alright, so that is, I'm going to want to tuck him down a little lower into the pants now. So what I could do, I'm going to cheat it. I'm just going to pull him down a little bit. He's going to be slightly shorter because I deleted Geo that I should have done this before I cut off the bottom of his chest. Actually, hold on a second. Oh no, it's size this. Yeah, I'm just going to cheat it. So let's grab. Hide everything except for the parts I want to move. Right. Not the pants. Not the loops, not the rivets. Here to the top. Move this piece up. Okay. This part. And really all I'm concerned with is him and this loop coming down into the pants a little better. So I'm going to turn on these two. And I will move them together. But first what I want to do is I want to go and mask everything else because I'm going to do like a group move. Right, so let's come down here. Mask. 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 Mask and mask. Okay. Bottom of him is masked. Top is not masked. Okay. I'm going to grab my gizmo. It's in place already. I'm going to turn on the layer stack so that it's moving multiple subtools. I'm going to slide it down just a little bit. So Hulk is slightly shorter, but you know what? It's going to have a sweet waistline. Alright, so that tucks in. That takes care of my problem. I'm not, it's not hidden now. I'm sorry, it's not exposed now. And so if I were to turn off everything else, turn this guy back on, now you can see I have my clean edge that's going to cut into the pants. And I can probably even move it up a little bit in some areas now. Let's turn the pants back on. Yeah, totally can move it up in some areas. So if I grab him and turn on transparent like this, I can see where it is. Oh, you know what? I had that bottom mask the whole time. That's okay. Let's just bring it down a little bit. It's not going to matter. I don't really need it, but the top is what I'm concerned with. So now I can grab the top and turn off dynamic, and I can move up and actually see where the pant line is. So I know that I don't want to go above the pants, but I do want to cut into his waist inside of the pants. You guys are probably asking questions that I'm not checking out yet. I will check them out. Just give me a second here. Let's get this right. That's there. I don't want that up too high. Now another thing I like to do, what's happened because I gave this thickness and I'm moving these points, is that the inside of the mesh and the outside of the mesh may not be moving at the same time. So it's warbly now, right? It's like it's not right. It's not exactly right. So what I can do, I know the outside is good. So if I select only the outside, right? Delete hidden, delete auto groups this rather, and hide the inside, delete that, and then I flip it, then what I can do is I can go ahead and I can extrude it back out into the body. And it's probably, you know what, what? Let's see something. Extrude into the body. Probably makes sense to do that with it turned on so I can see what I'm doing. So that's that. So now it's straight all the way around as far as the extrusion. And if I turn off this and turn on dynamic, and then turn back on the Hulk, turn on transparency. That's what it looks like, right? So now that circle is going to be a lot easier to fit in the pants than this really weird shape that I have going on here, right? Like that would be hard because, like I said, it kind of his you know, stomach cuts down and then it cuts out. You know, it's in and out all over the place. It's rather to have a geometric shape that's going to just push right in, which is, I think that looks good. Okay, so now if I take this guy, if I go down and make my band, do I need this many subdivision levels? That's not that big. Let's say apply. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so I want to now make the key and the band one thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take Hulk, his upper body, and this key. I probably want to extend this key down a little bit. It looks a little shallow now that I look at it. So flick the mask, pull it down a little bit like that. That's cool. And I want to split unmasked. Okay. So now I'm only showing the key, the upper body, and the band are all that's visible if I turn on everything. Sorry. Okay, can't take that. So now if let's look at the questions here. Let's see. What's going on over here? Oh man, I missed a lot, sorry. What's happening? You have to make them Oh jeez. Sorry. Okay, you guys are talking about printers. Printers. Okay, you guys are talking about yourselves. That's good. All right. Thanks, Grill Jetter. Okay. All right, you guys. Music is too loud. All right. Let's turn it down. That's all I need to hear. Desktop audio. Let's turn that down some. How's that? You guys tell me and I'll take care of it. How about that, fellers? All right, you guys are having a conversation. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go back to my work. If you need me, I'll be here. Oh no! All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do now is I am going to take what's visible and turn it into a unified mesh, right? I want to apply, I don't even have to really, if I go to Boolean and I hit dynamic subdivisions, turn that on, then what I can do is, let's clear this out. No. Let's clear this out and make it a Boolean mesh. Alright, so it's going to think about it for a while and take this almost 3 million poly thing and push it over here. Okay. Do not switch. Alright, so here's the merge thing. Okay. That's it. And if I turn on the poly groups, you can see that it's doing this right now, which I don't love, but for now it's okay. So what I would normally do now, and what I just did with this other statue I was working on, is I will make a copy of it. I'll duplicate it. Let's do a quick save in case I lose anything. Okay, it's going to save that. Okay, solo it out. I want to merge everything like that, and I want to Dynamesh this. Then I'm going to decimate this, right? So what can happen is I can smooth out parts, and it's not going to get real weird where I transition from a whole lot of polygons to nothing. So usually I turn it up to about 1000, turn off my blur, turn on my project, and hit Dynamesh. Now this might take a while. So let's see what happens. The filament that I'm going to use is, I'll show you. Don't look at my butt, you guys. It's weird. Alright, I got this Hatchbox PLA, which is this. It just comes in these spools like this. Right. This is good. I printed the Zion plus a whole bunch of other stuff with just one spool. But then I also got this new stuff, which is Sunlu 3D printer filament, and it's supposed to be able to hold more detail. Same type of thing, but it's a point, what is it, 1.75? And it is Sunlu. So I'm excited to try this. I think I'm going to try this next because I know what the Hatchbox can do, but this stuff is supposed to be pretty cool, actually. I can't remember what the selling point was. I bought it a while ago, but they said that it's supposed to be dope. All right, so that is done. Dynameshing. There you go. So that's much better, right? So now if I want to go in and clean up edges on this Dynamesh, way easier than doing it on the other mesh. So let's see, did I lose detail? A little bit. So maybe I can just project that back. Let's try. I don't know, it might be problematic in some areas. Maybe I'll mask out his ears and face because I have a feeling that that's where I'm going to have the issues. Oh no. Oh no. I didn't mean to do that. Crap. It's going to Dynamesh. Just or complicated. Now, you know, I don't want to name drop, but I was talking to my good friend Kadeem Hardison the other day. You might know him from TV. I'm just kidding. I saw Kadeem on Instagram and told him that I was going to be printing this, and he was like, hook him up. So I know I'll probably be doing 2 at least. All right, so that's that. I'm going to back this up because I don't want that. I'm going to turn off Dynamesh because I don't need that anymore, right? And I am going to mask his face with the mask lasso, right? I don't want to mess up his, because usually the problems are around the eyes and the ears and the mouth. you get spikes everywhere because it's kind of folding in on itself. I don't want that. I'm only really concerned about his body, basically. Okay, so I'll mask that out, and everything else should be no problem. That's 4.3 million. So it's 4.3 million on this one, and that's one. All right, so that's more than enough geo to hold what we have on the other model. So now I can project it back. So let's go to Subtool, Project. I'm going to turn this down to the distance to 0.2. No blur. And then I'm going to hit Project All. And hopefully it'll give me back some of those skin pore detail pieces that I like without crashing. I hope. What else is going on? Dynamesh almost took us out. Uh-oh. How do you add unevenness in the skin? Project from history, 0 problems from that. You know what? You're probably right, I just haven't tried it yet. That's one of those things where I usually get on stuff late, so that probably would be a really good way to do it, actually. But will it keep the Dynamesh though? I don't know. I think that's good. Let's see, did it do anything? No, not as crispy as I want. Let's see. I mean, I'm splitting hairs, right? Let's see the hand. When in doubt, go to the hand. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Alright, so. It's fine. I mean, it's a little softer. But I guess it's alright. That's fine. Yeah. I don't know why it didn't. Maybe I want to get a little more of that. Alright, so tell me more about this project from history. Let's see. Click it at the history. Click it in the history, and then it will appear as an option. It also keeps the Dynamesh. Okay. How do you add the unevenness to the skin pores? That's just alphas. I used alphas to make the skin pores. Alright, advanced lighting. This is not the advanced lighting one. What's up? What's up, Ian? Mask cavity inflate, a little more crispness. Yeah, maybe. Alright, I want to try what Black Pixel is talking about here. So let's see. What would I step back before I Dynamesh and then do a save point? What do I have to do the save point? I haven't done this. I know I should know this stuff, but I don't know. So it right now is looking like this. Let's go back to before I did the... Okay. Oops. Okay, so there's that. And that's the detail that I want. So how do I store this here? What do I gotta do? Tell me, Black Pixel. This is your stream, homie. What am I doing? I could Google it, but I don't have time. Click, then alt-click. 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 Do I need the brush? Probably need the brush, right? Is there a brush for it? Let's see. Come on, man. Help me out. Help me out, brother. What is it? Is there a brush I have to use first? All right. Take the mouse point up. Purple bar in history. Oh, I'll click on that. Okay. And then, but I can't step up now. Now you tell me no? Ah, come on, man. All right. All right. Okay. See, this is what happens. This is what happens here. So now that's not what I wanted because I lost my Dynamesh. But I have the history stored, so now I'm going to do the Dynamesh again. Have project on, turn it up. I'm going to turn it up a little higher, maybe that'll keep some of that as well. Okay, and Dynamesh. You need to work on that typing faster. Okay, so that's no worries. So now that's going to re-Dynamesh again. And then I can do my thing. But it is stored, so that's good. Cool. Where is project history? Is that in under project? Oh, it's right there. Where it says, you mean where it says project history right here? Is that where I do it? Okay. All right, cool. So that's going. That's going. Anyway, what else is happening, y'all? The coffee is starting to work. Okay, cool. So this is here. Okay, that's what it looks like now. This is what it used to look like, which is pretty close anyway, but now I'll do a project history and we'll see what happens. Dun, dun, dun. Fingers crossed. Quick save first. Okay, saving. All right, project history. Here we go. It's thinking. It's thinking. I really, when I turned up the Dynamesh, I didn't lose as much this time, so it's probably not going to be that noticeable. You guys are probably like, yo, this looks exactly the same as it did before. So anyway, let me tell you about this memory I got coming. It's got RGB on the top of it. It's pretty cool. It's like a, it's the Corsair memory, I think. Okay, still doing it? No, did it? Yeah, that looks good. All right, good looking, guys. Thank you. Actually looks really good. And it's still Dynameshed? Heck yeah, it is. All right, cool. So that looks, that's wonderful. So now what I can do is I can just make sure everything is crisp, which it really is. It's clean. Yeah, that's really clean. I like that a lot. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's take this now. This is going to be our new upper body. Rename Hulk. So I would decimate it again, but doesn't make sense since I have to chop off his arms and stuff. So let's copy this, go back to our original, turn off these guys, right? Come back down to the lower body. Okay, I don't need that one anymore. Lower body, turn off solo. Okay, so there's my lower, which I paste. And there's my upper. For some reason the pants turned off. Okay. Alright, see, that's what I'm talking about. That is crispy. I like that. Okay. The other thing too is I can yeah, I can leave this actually how it is. It's not too bad. Now, you know what though? Let me think. Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, cool. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to make this a unified mesh as well. Okay? So let's unmask everything. I don't know if it makes a difference if it's masked or not, but let's just do that for the sake of argument. Got my rivets. And that's my what, stitches? Yeah, okay. So now I just want to go through, take one more look at this and make sure that the stitches are outside of the pants. I know I spent a long time making these things last time, but it's important that they're not above the mesh. So if I turn this off and I go in and I want to mask just the pink part. So let's do that. W. This part. Seriously? Q. Okay, that's good enough. All right, so now what I can do is I can go in and just kind of push. Let's grab an alpha, put this on here. I just want to push the pants in some of these places. Do I not have? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Sometimes you have to rotate the camera for it to update the preview. And again, I know you're like, dude, nobody's going to see these stitches, but I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys, I have ADHD, and it's very important that I do this, and OCD a little bit. If I don't do this, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. It's very important. Also, the print's going to look better.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, Rick. That's cool. Down here, pretty cool. Okay. And there's nowhere where the stitches are floating above the mesh. That's even more important than them being buried inside of it. That's going to be a problem if they were, especially if this was resin, right? So the good thing about this is when I'm done, I can convert this, make sure that everything obviously is watertight and printed in resin. One thing I was thinking about too, I saw this guy do this on YouTube, and it was a pretty nice move. And actually, no, I have a friend named Brad that did it as well. But he printed the body PLA, and then he did the head in resin, and it just kept so much more detail. With Hulk, probably wouldn't matter because I have all this skin detail that I'd probably want in resin. That would keep all of those pores if I dug them in enough, that is. With filament, it's just going to be a texture. You're not gonna really see it. All right, so that's cool, like that. Turn off solo. Okay, the shirt is not floating above the mesh. There's parts of the shirt that I don't want. I mean, I don't think the whole thing needs to be visible all the way around, so let's do this. Let's do some areas where maybe it's pushed in, as I imagine a shirt would do. You know, you wouldn't see it all the way around. It's not the way that shirts work, pretty sure. Anybody else watching Westworld? I just watched it, and little fun little fact about me that you guys probably don't know. The Matrix, the first Matrix, is one of my favorite movies. So I like the fact that May now is turning into, like, she's a new Neo. So for some reason I want to see those two face off. Like, I want to see Neo versus May. Also, let's bring John Wick into the next Matrix, please, because that would be dope. And it would make sense. Throwing that out there. Don't steal that idea. It's not even mine. I stole it from my friend Tony. Alright. Actually, no. I want the shirt to hide that edge there. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. If you don't check carefully, then you'll have pants peeking through where the shirt should be, which is not good. So I want that like that. Okay, it just looks a little more natural when it's not all the way around, like, it just looks silly. Like that. And you can see I have the pants peeking through the shirt. Good thing I'm checking it. Alright, that's that. Okay. The arms are in the way, man. Get out of the way. Oops. That's way easier. Okay. Okay. All right, I think that'll do. Pinch brush. Pinch, 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 pinch. There it is. Oh, you know what I almost forgot? Let's turn the texture back on. See? That would have been bad. So let's turn the texture back on the shirt. Oops. Oh, now see here, this is something that I would have missed too. So the pants are, is that the leg? The leg is going through the pants here. And I can see if I turn on my poly group. So let's grab this. Yeah, see how that's poking through? That's not good. You're not going to see any of that anyway, so it's a good opportunity for me just to get it out of the way. You're not going to see any of that. It's all hidden. So, very important especially if this is resin, that I don't have areas clipping through other areas. Look, down here, not good. Not good, folks. Push that in. Push that in. All right. Look at that, coming up out of the pants. Don't do that. Okay, boom. So all those areas you're seeing the dark poking through that's places where the legs are clipping through the pants. Look down there, I didn't even notice that. That's not good. I would have missed all this stuff. This is what takes so long when I cut and key, to be honest with you. It's not making the keys, like that part is easy. It's just fixing all the little stuff that you don't notice when you're sculpting. Like if I was just doing a render of this, I would have never noticed it. And it really, to be honest with you, wouldn't have mattered. Okay. And that looks good. I have another, what is it called? I can never remember the name of it. Hall of Frame coming up with Sideshow next week. It's a longer format version of the ODB one. So if there are any hip hop fans or print fans, I will be on there with the president of his estate, and we're going to be talking hip hop. We're going to be talking ODB 20th anniversary, 20th anniversary, maybe 25 of his return to 36 chambers. So that's that. Tune in if you would, and watch the other one that's out right now on YouTube at a store near you. All right, that's that. That's looking good now. I like it. The shirt, I want to turn the texture back on before I forget. So let's go back to surface, noise. There's my texture for the shirt. And it looks heavy, right? Like that's heavier than it would be, but again, when it prints you lose that detail. So I just wanted texture there. The pants, I went in and really sculpted the crap out of them, so it doesn't matter that they don't have a jean texture. It would have been nice, it would have been a nice breakup, but you know what? Yeah, it's whatever. All right. I have a feeling I would have sanded out a lot of it anyway. So that is fine. Let's turn back on the upper body. Let's make that a Boolean now. And let's look at how this is going to look when we do the cut. And I can live with that. That looks pretty good to me, I think. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. All right, so now we can do the Boolean mesh for this. First, I'm going to save. Okay, let's look at question. Really? On my website, it was blocked because of antivirus? Don't put www in front of it. Just do Mike T Artworks. See if that works. Thank you, Mike Mayart. Thanks, Black Pixel. Now, how in the world is Hulk even putting on jeans? No. All them cakes. How's he getting them in there? You're not terribly far from it. Oh, where do you work at Zenimax? I know some guys at Zenimax actually. Bobby and my friend Rico are both there. All right. Yeah, Mike is a very popular name. GA. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, print's gonna be heavy. No, I'm gonna decimate it after it's all done. Don't worry about it. We're good. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I am going to again make a Boolean mesh out of this. I'm gonna use the shirt now to back, or the upper body rather, to back out of the legs. Let's do that. Boom. That's gonna process for a little while. So nobody's gonna compliment me for the fact that I didn't cut a hole into my head? Seriously? Nobody's gonna... No bald spots anywhere that are not naturally occurring? Okay, union mesh, still working on it. How many people are cutting their own hair right now? Is it done? Oh, it's done. All right. Didn't take as long as I thought. Boom. All right, so here's the bottom of him. That's a big key, you guys. This thing's a big old key. That upper body is not coming off the lower body. So now I can do the same deal. We're gonna do the trick that the Black Pixel taught me about. I'm gonna do what is it? Make a save point, not a save point, a projection point. And then I'm going to do a Dynamesh. Just turn it up, turn off blur, turn on project, and Dynamesh. I don't want it that. Do I want it that high? Yeah, that should be all right. Dynamesh. Okay. All right. This is probably going to mess up OBS for a minute. Hang in there with me, or Twitch. Okay. All right. That's doing its thing. I always cut my own hair. It doesn't matter. I wish I could. Specky Nation. Bald already. Nice. I wish I could rock a bald hairdo. My head, I got a weird shaped head, you guys. It's very weird. So that's not happening. Not gonna happen. But congrats to the people who can rock the baldy cut. I like that. You know, the only thing that bothers me now that I'm looking at this and it's too late, maybe I'll do this after the stream, go in and redo this over again. I don't like the fact that the shirt has two symmetrical V's on either side of the rivet. That looks not good. I don't like symmetry. It doesn't even make sense. That's gonna bother me, but it is what it is, I guess. All right. Oh, okay. Well, does it move faster if you turn off the project? Huh, I didn't know that. All right, so let's see. Kept the groups. I don't want to keep the groups. All right, that is clean. It's heavier, but it's clean. Now let's do a reproject and see if it gets even better. Subtool, project, history. Let's try it again. See what happens. That is dope. Thank you. I'll be using that from now on. They come out with so many like new features in ZBrush every time that it's hard to keep up with everything. So there's usually like 2 that I find are the best thing ever, and this is now one of my top 2. All right, let's see what happens. I didn't freeze, did I? Projecting through Dynamesh takes forever. Okay, good. Alright. That's crisp, man. It's mad crispy. I like it. Okay. Very nice edges. That's dope. Okay. So then that is his lower body. Right? Cool. So now I'll take this, copy. Let's call this lower. Okay. Copy this. Go back over to this guy, and I can get rid of these parts. So I'm going to hold on to this for later because I feel like I can use it somewhere else. But I'm going to delete obviously the parts that I'm bringing over. So let's delete the rivets, the loops, the legs, the shirt, pants. And that's my good upper. Is this my old one? This is the old one. Is this the good one? What's the difference? Let's see. What's the deal here? Okay. 1.4. This is the one I want. This is not the one I want. So I'm going to delete this. Okay. And this is now, rename this to, let's use this part. Rename this. Or wait. Let's just save this as working cut and key. That's what I want. Yes. Okay. So that's that. Then I can paste in the legs. Paste. Okay. All right. So if I solo it, I got my legs. Got my upper. I'm going to cut off those arms. And the way I said I wanted to cut this was I want to try to do a thing where I go like that. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to try it. So maybe what I'll do is make a copy of this, duplicate, bring this down to the arm. I only really want to have these 2 things on. Oh crap, turn that off. Okay, scale this up. Think about how I want to do this. I'm going to make this a sphere. Sphere. what I'm thinking is I want it to cut in so that that line is going to be hidden when I pop the arm on there as best I can. So I'm not sure if this is going to work. This is a pretty complicated cut, but let's see if I can do it. I don't know why am I having problems with, I have plenty of memory and graphics card. I don't know why it's doing this previewing thing. It's probably a sign that I should save and restart ZBrush. So let me do that. Save as. Key, save, yes. All right, I'm gonna quit. Let's do a quick save just in case. Just in case. All right, that's doing its thing. Yeah, it's only 8 million, like my computer can handle way more than that. Close this. Nope. Okay. Empty trash, because you never know. You never know. This is what I normally do, you guys. This screen here is what I get paid to do on the rig. Sculpting is the fun thing I do. All right, so let's open ZBrush back up. What's up, Specky Nation? Load. It's still doing it. What in the heck? What else do I have open? Just OBS. I don't know. Load tool. Light tools. Sculpt. Hulk. Back to work. Okay, let's see. Underneath the bicep. Make sure you don't have dynamic. Okay. Yeah, dynamic subdiv is off. Even when I have it on, I don't really have issues like that, unless sometimes Chrome will eat up a lot of resources, but OBS usually is the big hog. Okay, I just ran a ZRemesher to make it a little easier to do this. let y'all know about that Hulk Nemesis. Alright. So let's see what this looks like. Subtool.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see. Just want to try to hide this as best I can in the you know, in the natural folds of the skin, since there's nowhere to really get these seams. That's like the pants like we had before. Alright, so and the way that I did my Zion was I used wood putty to fill the joints, and that just kind of cleaned it up. And then a lot of sanding, and then putty, then sanding again. Rinse, repeat, over and over. All right. Okay. So that's what it looks like that way. Let's flip this the other way. Okay. Yeah, the Boolean mesh is dope for this kind of stuff because, you know, before I wouldn't have known really how to get this. And obviously I don't want it to, you know, be that rounded going into his body, but it's not a bad start, right? So I can kind of smooth this out now. This is the shape that I'm using because I can smooth it out. I can make it a little easier to just slide in when I make the key. I had to figure out how to do this with a pair of Timberlands where the pants were coming over the top of them.
Oh, jeez.
And my phone is blowing up today. And it was pretty complicated, but the end result was pretty cool actually. So if you're just tuning in and don't know what I'm doing, I have a shape here. If I turn off black Boolean, you can see this is basically just a cutter that is going to slice his arm off so that when I key it in, it's not going to be just a straight like seam that cuts down through his pec and everything, which would be really super ugly. So that's all that this is. And you got to turn on the live Boolean to see what's going on, but I'm not real upset with what's happening here. So I'm going to need one for the other side. I'm going to want this inside to be a little less. I mean, I guess it could be rounded like that. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's clean. All right. So that would be that side. Okay. Then I would need one for the other side. So I'm just going to duplicate this and flip it. Duplicate and mirror. Oops. Mirror. And then obviously nothing is in symmetry, so it's one of those things where I just gotta figure it out, basically. Get it as close as possible, then nudge it into position. Let's see what else is going on. Hope it's clean. Poly count on the torso. Poly count on the torso right now is 4 million, almost 4.5 mil. But I'm gonna decimate it later. Yeah, no, it's only 4 mil for the torso. Cool hair. Sculpt the hair. No, that's my hair. I did use the. I did start with the anime hair that basically is just like the strands, and then I just placed them and then sculpted on top of them. So that's all that was. Thank you, though. Good night, Kyle. Kyle Reese. Come with me if you want to live. How did you cut it with a sphere? Yeah, that's Boolean. Do you sand by hand or use it? Oh, no. So I have a what's it called? What's that thing called? Dremel. So I have a Dremel that I use for stuff that like is really hardcore that needs to be polished, but and I put on the little kind of thing that looks like a sponge, and it will just take down the edges. But you got to be really careful with that because you'll just melt right through the plastic. So I don't use that much. I used I just vary the grit of the sandpaper and eventually work my way up to the super high grit with water, and it's really, here, I'll show it to you. When it's done, it's like super clean. So you can see that it just holds a lot of detail. And the sanding for everything on here was just parts that were sanded and then primed. But you got to be patient, like that's the whole deal. So this is about how tall the Hulk is going to be when it's done. If you guys have never seen this, then it's going to be like 22 inches tall, which is about as tall as my Daniel Bell Captain America from Sideshow. That's kind of the sweet spot for quarter scale for me. So Hulk is going to be about 20 inches tall without a base. Just so you know that. All right. Get this message. No file path. Mem block. I don't know what that is, Ibrahim. Thanks, David. I don't know what that is, my man. I would send a message out to, first Google it, obviously. And then if you can't figure it out, send a message out to Pixelogic and they can tell you what's going on. Normally I wouldn't make such a weird organic kind of form to be a cutter here, but normally I have like a shirt seam that I can tuck the arm into or something like that, so it's more geometric. Alright, so clearly I don't want it to be this crazy in here. Like, this is really bananas. I don't want all that. Good thing is it's super low res, so I can just smooth and get this inside to be a lot less deep, and then I can just move the edges until I find what I like. See what the arm looks like. Oh yeah, it's too much. Yeah, so this project I just finished was really big, and like I said, I've been pulling a lot of all-nighters. I noticed that it's much easier to do all-nighters like 20 years ago than it is now. It's crazy. Getting too old for this stuff. This back, because that's the problem. Doing this. There you go. Okay. The shape of this thing is making it hard to figure out where the edge is. None of this is going to be seen, by the way. This is all going to cinch up to his body, so it's kind of sweating it a little too hard, but I just want a clean edge. See, I don't want any of this going on where I have like this nasty lip that sticks out. Because when I Boolean it, that's going to stay there, and it's just going to be really thin geometry that's ugly. You don't want that. So I can tell you right now, this is going to be a problem right here. I don't want that high. And I don't want that inside to be that pronounced. So let's try to mask it and see if I can do anything about that. I think the problem is that I need to remesh this. There you go. That's the wrong arm. This is the wrong arm. There you go. Just needed to remesh it. Okay. All right, so that's kind of what I had in mind. Should work, theoretically. Let's see. Subtool. I mean, the great thing about these printers too is that it's not expensive to experiment, right? So that it's one of those things where if it doesn't work, you just fix it and come back to it. It's not that deep. And as far as materials, it costs nothing in the filament to fix things. Like one of those rolls of filament. Crap, I just do. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. One of those rolls of filament is $25, and one roll printed the entire Zion plus all of the mistakes I made and like misprints. Oh crap! I got Dynamesh on. I didn't mean to do that. Let's turn on Dynamesh. I didn't mean to do that. Let's turn that off. Okay, turn off Dynamesh. All right, cool. So now let's just see. I mean, his pec is not his. Let's. Oh crap! Talking out loud. Just hold on. Hold on, you guys. Just hold on a second, will you? So everybody just calm down. All right. Okay. So I think that's what I want this to look like. I think that's what I want that to look like. As far as the arm is concerned. And then it should pop right on to his pec, and you won't notice. So let's turn off the Boolean. This is what I have. I'm going to save this before I lose it. Click save. Let's see if I have any questions. Did you print? Wait a minute. Did you print that on the printer? And yes, I did. Yeah, that's the only printer I have, is that printer in the corner. So just so you know, for the printer, it's super cheap. Like, I think it was 320 bucks. And I did put on things like TL smoothers. I did some modifications. I put on a new hot end and the Bowden tube. I did an upgrade. But those upgrades pushed this thing to like 350 as opposed to 320 or whatever it was. It was super cheap. So I think printer with filament and the upgrades got it under $400. And I mean, as you can see, you know, I could sell this and make my money back in no time. And I plan to, you know, sell a couple of these Hulks. I got a new airbrush kit and compressor, so I'm going to be painting them up. I haven't really airbrushed in a while, but I enjoy it. So yeah, I'll be make that thing pay for itself, you guys. Let's see what else is going on. Check out, I have a friend named Pierre. I'll find out what he goes by, but he uses Sculptress like crazy. Like, he does a lot of work on Sculptress. And so I'm sure he has, and he does have tutorials on, I think, 3D Total. But yeah, you can check out his stuff if you want to know more about Sculptress. Yeah, yeah, my Kleiss. That was printed on the Ender. No, you'd be surprised. I mean, I had that detail on him, and it wasn't as deep. So, like, you kind of can see it, but I mean, you can see that, you know, looking at things like the sole, it will hold crazy amounts of detail. Like, look at that. That's crazy, right? It holds all that. It held the detail in the socks. Like, it's no joke. I even have like a little tiny Nike swoosh somewhere. Oh, it holds everything. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, it holds it all. If that was super blurry, sorry about that. Alright, so that's that. Let's see. You need to sound down the print layers. Yes. You do lose some of the skin detail. Yes. Yeah, of course, man. That was a dope sculpt. What model is the printer? The printer is, I'll put it in the chat again. That is the Creality Ender 5. And I got that because I saw the stuff that Rafael Grassetti was doing with his 3, which was amazing. So I was like, yo, let me get up on this, you guys. Boolean. Okay. All right, so I think this is what I want to do. Let's add some keys to it and see what happens. Now, one thing that's probably gonna go down is I will, maybe before I Boolean this, I'm going to do a little sculpting. I can do that right in here, actually. So let's grab I'm gonna grab this, solo it. I'm gonna ZBrush this again. ZBrush. Okay. All right, and I want to, right now it's only 17,000 polys. I want to subdivide it a couple times. Okay, so now what I can do is I can go in and really get that that cut to look the way that I want it to look. Am I on the right one? Wait, which one am I on? Solo. I'm on this one over here. Okay. All right, so let's go back to Hulk. I just want to hide everything. Let's see. What do I want to do? Okay. Turn off. Page on that. That. And turn off that. Okay. All right. So what I can do now is I can go in and I can kind of see what I want to do with this edge, or the inside rather, and I just want to clean it up. So it's not so concave, basically. Oops. And if I step down, it's easier to smooth it. Yeah, it's going to be easier if I just show the whole Hulk. There you go. Okay, that's actually not bad. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. All right, see, this is the thing. I just smoothed the Hulk, and I didn't want to. I was on the wrong layer. So or the wrong subtool. Let's back this up. I could also do that thing where I do the project, but it's not that hard to fix. So let's go there. And then let's get this back down a little bit. Okay. So ideally what's going to happen here is when I have this seam, which you can't avoid, it's not going to be as crazy as if I have a seam that just goes like that, like that, right? Like I don't want something that cuts through all of his stuff. That's a medical term, stuff, sorry. I don't want to get too technical for you guys. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a doctor in my spare time. All right, what time is it? Almost 1 o'clock, 10, 11, 12, 1. Wait a minute, is this almost done? 11, 12, 1? 11, 12, 1. I think I'm done, you guys, in like 10 minutes, I think. So let's quickly throw a key in here. I'm gonna make a copy of this key, duplicate. I'm pretty sure Ashley is on today. If you guys are are going to stick around, and I mean, let's be honest, where are you going to go? There's nowhere you can go. Ashley is going to be on later, and she's a beast. Like, her stuff is crazy. So, so hang out, you know? Hang out, check her out. No, I don't want to do that. I want to move it. Move. Rotate. Shrink. Okay. So this is going to be the key, and I can make this a negative as well, and you can see where it is, and I can move it around, right? He's so massive that I don't have to worry about the keys touching. I just did this thing for a client the other day where I had to worry about the key from one side running into the key from the other side, but this dude he's big. So basically this is gonna look like this on his upper body. I'm gonna save this and then pick it up next time I come with you guys. And then if I were to flip this, it should look like this on his arm. Right, so if I were to go ahead and Boolean this together, like do a union mesh, which I can do, let's just see what it looks like. Let's do a quick save. Haha, with quick save. And then let's do a Boolean mesh. Boolean mesh. Boom. All right, so we can see what this looks like. Okay, so here's the arm, right? And now I would do my same deal where I go in and I Dynamesh it, clean it up, and all that. But what I'm going to do instead of that right now is I'm just going to copy this, go back over to my Hulk. I'm going to turn on his only his upper body, turn off the other things, and paste the arm. Okay, so now I have, if I solo it, I have only his arm. So now what I would do is I would use this to back out of the body. So I would make this into a Boolean. And don't worry about the fact that it looks so wild here. This is because this mesh is right on top of itself. What I'm concerned with is what's underneath of the cut. So let's see if I go and grab this and hide that. Yeah, well, it's going to make it so you can't really see. But yeah, you get the picture. So now this is going to cut in. Maybe if I zoom in farther. Yeah, it's going to cut in and you can see what it would look like, which essentially is what I had before, right? But I know it's a perfect cut because this arm was cut out of him, you know? And then I could probably, what I would probably do is I would grab this arm. Let's see, I would grab the arm and maybe do an inflate. This is like super fast because I'm almost out of time. But I would just do like an inflate under deformation, an inflate, and then what'll happen is that should, look at those fingers, that's awesome. So now if I turn back on the model, see how now I don't have so much of that going on in his arm because it's all kind of inflated. I would just delete those little bits that are hanging up in the sky like that when it's done. But yeah, that's how I would do it. All right, and that's how I'm gonna do it. I will keep at this on the next stream. Let's just finish this so I can get it on the printer, and then hopefully by the time we're allowed to see each other again in public, I should have a physical statue. All right, but thanks guys. Let me see what else is on here. Blah, 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 blah. Did I see anything that I miss? Glad to see you too, Emilio. Do you answer any questions doing this kind of stuff in emails? Yeah, hit me up. The information on the bottom if you go to my website, there's a place to email me from the site. You can ask me questions there. You can hit me on Instagram. If you're not already, please give me a follow on Instagram. On YouTube, I have all of these streams. So there's like 25, 27 2 to 3 hour streams of ZBrush Live where I do everything from poly painting to sculpting to what you're seeing now. Hundreds of hours of content. Maybe not hundreds. Maybe a good 100. Maybe 50. But it's free, so what are you complaining about? Check that out on YouTube. Give me a follow, please. And stick around. What is best in life? PLA or ABS? I don't know. It's like a little play on Conan. I like that. What are the modes you got on your printer? The modes? What you talking about, Willis? Making keyholes give me a headache. Yeah, it sucks. But it's, you know what? It's kind of like it's like a Rubik's Cube. So it's fun too, you know? And it's a nice little break from painting stuff and sculpting stuff. So, thanks everybody. I will see you later. Stay cool. Peace.